Okay, we're at the Knowsley Council annual general meeting for, well, supposedly the voting the new leader, but I can already predict that running around has been voted out. And I predict the new leader will be unauthorised. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the Mayor and Mayoress of Knowsley, Councillor Frank Walsh and Miss Janet Walsh.
Welcome everyone to the 2015 annual meeting. In particular, can I welcome our friends who have travelled from St Moors. An attendance list has been circulated for any apologies to be recorded. I will now proceed to item number 1 on the agenda. Item number 1, election of Mayor 2015-2016. Can I invite nominations for the election of Mayor of Knowsley for 2015-2016?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Can I move that Councillor Edna Finneran be elected Mayor of Knowsley for the year 2015-16?
Councillor Murphy?
Yeah, I'd like to second that motion, Mr Mayor.
Is that agreed?
Agreed.
I declare that Councillor Edna Finneran be elected Mayor of Knowsley for 2015-2016. Thank you.
Please be upstanding. Mayor of Knowsley, Councillor Edna Finneran and Mrs Michelle Finneran.
Thank you, please be seated. I've always wanted to say that. Distinguished guests, councillors, chief officers, ladies and gentlemen, our friends from the town of Moors. I would like to thank both my proposer, Councillor Round, and my seconder, Councillor Murphy, for nominating me as the Mayor of Knowsley for the year of 2015 and 16. I would also like to thank my fellow members of the Council for supporting the nomination. It is a great privilege and honour to be chosen to represent the borough in this role. On behalf of the Council, I would like to thank Frank and Janet. I don't know whether to thank Frank or what, because he's done such a fantastic year. He's going to be an extremely hard to follow. For the past 12 months, they've both done an excellent ambassador of the borough and will be a hard act to follow. I'm pleased to announce that the Reverend Janet Durham from St Nicholas's Church in Harewood has agreed to act as my chaplain until the new Reverend of St Nicholas's has been appointed later this year. By the way, my civic service is planned for the 28th of June 2015 and details will be circulated to you shortly. During my year as Mayor, I will be raising funds for First Set Limited, which supports people affected by domestic violence. Knowsley Alzheimer's Society, which supports people affected by dementia. Donations will be made also to the Stroke Association for Harewood branch, which provides support for people who are affected by the stroke, which Wisdom Inaugural in Culture and Heritage, an organisation which aims to establish and maintain the heritage and educate the public in the history and culture of Wiston and surrounding areas. I know that both the Mayoress and myself are very much looking forward to the next 12 months. Thank you. Item 2. Councillor Round. Votes of thanks to the retiring officer, retiring Mayor, sorry. Councillor Round.
Can I move that vote of thanks, Madam Mayor?
Councillor Murphy.
I second that motion.
Councillor Round, I believe you would like to say a few words in support of the motion.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to say a few words about our outgoing Mayor, Frank Walsh. First of all, I would like to offer him my personal thanks for his sterling work throughout this year in office as Mayor, along of course with Janet, who kindly agreed to take on the role of Mayoress. Frank has promoted the profile of the distinguished office of the Mayor by attending countless functions and events both within and outside the borough. I know he will tell you about some of the memorable events shortly. I also know from the conversations I have had with him how much he and Janet have enjoyed their time during the last 12 months and how sorry they are that the year is now come to an end. Frank's work throughout the year has raised a considerable amount of money. I won't steal your thunder, Frank, by telling people how much you've raised, but it is commendable and all of it will benefit his chosen charities: Acorn Farm in Kirby, the Apple Trust in Huyton, and donations will also be made to Huyton with Roby Sea Cadets and Huyton Air Cadets. Frank, thank you to you and to Janet for your hard work over the past 12 months in your roles as Mayor and Mayoress, and we all wish you well for the future. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Is that vote of thanks agreed?
Yeah.
I will now invite Councillor Frank Walsh to come forward to the small table at the front of the chamber, where I will present him with the past Mayor's medallion. The Chief Executive will present with him photograph album for the year. Can the former Mayor, for the former Mayoress and Miss Janet Wald, and come forward. Councillor Frank Walsh, would you like to respond?
Madam Mayor, distinguished guests, councillors, chief officers, ladies and gentlemen, our friends from Statmoors, herzlich willkommen, meine Herren, ich hoffe, Sie genießen den Rest des Tages. It has been an honour and a privilege to have served as Mayor of Knowsley for the year 2014-2015. Janet and I have really enjoyed representing the borough, and we have met some fantastic people along the way. I now understand why past mayors have wished they could stay in the role longer. I will take away with me many fond memories of my mayoral year, such as attending the Knowsley Flower Show, witnessing the unveiling of the Liverpool Pals Memorial by His Royal Highness the Earl of Wessex, and the Powell's Memorial, which was unveiled in Prescott a few weeks ago. Attending graduation ceremonies in both of the cathedrals. Attending awards evenings in schools and other venues where young people from the borough were able to celebrate their success. Princess Trust and Beacon Award ceremonies for young people run by Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service. It was a great privilege also to commemorate the addition of the name of the late Kingsman Jason Dunn-Bridgman to the War Memorial in Huyton, along with his family and friends. I'm sure that the members of his family and his comrades in arms who attended the moving ceremony felt really proud to have Jason's name immortalised on the cenotaph. Another lasting memory was my very first engagement the day after the mayor-making ceremony. This was the One Arc Winner Shop project in Prescott. A lady called Cheryl won a competition to secure a rent-free retail space for a year and opened a furniture upcycling shop called Grace Lee, which she named after her young daughter. I'm pleased to say that Cheryl has now gone on to recruit 2 full-time members of staff and has expanded her business into Kirby Market. It is really fantastic to hear about these success stories and shows what talent we have within the borough of Knowsley. Raising funds this year for my chosen charities has been quite a struggle, given the current financial climate that we find ourselves in, but I know that the recipients of the funds accrued will be extremely grateful. Thank you to everyone who has contributed throughout the year. Together, we have managed to raise approximately £20,000. Furthermore, I would also like to thank the Mayor's Office for their invaluable guidance and hard work throughout my time as Mayor representing the borough. And of course, not forgetting Janet. A special thank you to Janet for accompanying me on my engagements and the support that she has given me throughout the year. In conclusion, Madam Mayor, I would like to wish you and your Mayoress an enjoyable and memorable year in office, which I am sure you are both looking forward to. My very best wishes to both of you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Walsh. Item 3, Parliamentary and Local Elections Results. The report of the returning officer is attached at item 3 on the agenda for members' information. Do members agree to note the report? Item 4, a vote of thanks to the retiring members. Councillor Rand.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I move a vote of thanks to retiring members?
Councillor
I
Murphy.
second that.
Those retiring members, Madam Mayor, are Shannon O'Neill, Thomas Ferns and Thomas Grayson.
Is that agreed? Item 5, appointment of the Leader of the Council. Councillor Bill Whiteman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's my pleasure to move Councillor Andy Moorhead be appointed to the Leader of the Council until the annual general meeting of the Council in 2016.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
I second that motion, Madam Mayor.
Is that agreed? I declare that the Councillor Andy Moorhead be elected Leader of the Council until the annual general meeting in 2016. Councillor Moorhead, I understand you would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah. That's a good start, I got that part right. Yeah. And thank you all colleagues for your votes of confidence and your support. I'm delighted to take up the position of Leader of Knowsley Council. I feel privileged and somewhat humble to have been appointed today as leader of Knowsley Council. I sincerely look forward to working with you all. This is a transitional year, and I believe that the new governance arrangements we have recently put into place will be far more inclusive to all members and will establish a fresh approach to the way this council will do its business. It's with certainty that this government will implement further cuts to our funding. The only realistic way of combating these cuts is to develop new delivery models for our services. Knowsley is a cooperative council member. The point of the cooperative council's approach is that it is fundamental to keeping resources local, working with our communities and our employees to deliver services, whether they're mutuals, joint ventures or PPSs. We need to build on our local economy, be business friendly, tell businesses Knowsley welcomes them. In accepting this position, I want to pay tribute to Councillor Ronnie Round, who's been leading this council for the last 12 years. I think it speaks volumes about Ronnie's commitment to Knowsley and his personal integrity by offering to work with me over the next 12 months to enable a smooth transition. 45 years ago, Ronnie worked with my dad and my uncle Paddy on Phillips Ferry. Ronnie and our Paddy were steel erectors. They later worked on Stanley Oil Refinery for some years. So it was Podger in hand, union men at heart. Podger is a spanner. Okay, just for your sake, John.
I'll bring you on then.
Ronnie, a lifelong union man, has fought his whole life for better terms and conditions for engineering and construction workers. Imagine construction sites with no welfare facilities, nowhere to sit and eat, nowhere to dry your clothes, no washing facilities. A toilet was any corner you could find. Health and safety was and remains a low priority in the construction sector. Phillips Ferry had a number of fatalities. Most sickening was when 5 members of the same family were killed when the scaffolding collapsed. Ronnie has campaigned for better terms and conditions for all workers on construction sites for most of his life. And by and large, he has succeeded in winning very important improvements to terms and conditions on all sites across the country. I know that because I've witnessed it. I remember one time in our union branch, Ronnie was debating the pros and cons of out of town working with a very, very big and irate steel erector. Ronnie was there, and the steel erector was there. And he went on, he was using the effing and blinding words and God knows what, and he went into it all. Ronnie got that little smile on his face, that little look in his eye, and looked at him and said, "Where are you working now?" And the big fella, steel erector, said, "I'm out of town, I'm in Leeds. Game shot and match." Ronnie won that argument. Ronnie, as we all know, is noted for his exotic culinary taste. Last year in Bournemouth, on 3 successive nights, we ate internationally. Someone suggested we try a Thai restaurant on the last night. Ronnie, great believer in democracy, went with the crowd, never complaining. After sitting down with a glint in his eye, and said simply, "I bet they don't do fish and mushy peas in this place." Colleagues, I know Ronnie will be a really hard act to follow. But if I sum it up by quickly saying, when you stand on the shoulders of giants, you can see a lot further. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you, Councillor Moorhead. Councillor Round, would you like to say a few words?
I certainly would, Madam Mayor. And can I first of all thank Andy for those kind words that he just give a brief resume of my life. He knows more about me than Rose knows. Because half the things that went on them engineering construction sites I would not have dared tell Rose. The skull dragged me. Thank you also to the Labour Group for all of the support they have given me over the last 12 years. I can honestly say that I have really appreciated that support. Madam Mayor, I've really enjoyed my time as leader. It's been hard work, very time consuming, but it's also been an absolute privilege to serve. Over the last 12 years, we have strengthened the twinning arrangements between ourselves and Stadt Mayors, and I would like to pay a particular thanks to Hans Rossers for the role he has played in strengthening the bond between our two towns. And Hans is at the back of the chamber now. Can we give him a round? I've had lots of happy memories, Madam Mayor, and some very challenging ones too, especially losing the general election in 2010 and again in 2015. Although I think it's fair to say that no one can blame Knowsley for that, and our successes at a local level speak for themselves. I'm handing over the reins to Andy and others to move our council forward through the very challenging times to come. I said a couple of weeks ago, whatever support I can give to group officers, I certainly will do that. I'm very much looking forward now at being able to spend more time with my wife Rose and my family, who've been supportive of me in everything that I've done right throughout my life, and I could not have wished for better support from my family. They've been absolutely magnificent and never once complained when I've been away from home, working 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, coming home, barely having time to sit down with the children. The family were absolutely magnificent. And only for my family, Madam Mayor, I don't think I'd have been standing here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6, Leaders' Report. Councillor Andy Moorhead.
Can I ask the council to note that report, please, Madam Mayor?
Do members agree to note the report? Item 7, Committee Membership and Other Appointments. Councillor Bill Whiteman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I move the recommendations briefly circulated?
Councillor Murphy. Is that agreed? Item 8, Timetables of Meeting. Councillor Bill Whiteman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I move the recommendations on the order paper?
I second the order.
Is that agreed? Item 9, Amendments to the Constitution. Councillor Bill Whiteman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I move the amendments, the recommendations subject to the following amendments? Amendments to Appendix A and Appendix A of the agenda. Item 9, Amendments to the Constitution.
Do you have any questions? Oh, sorry, Councillor. Oh, sorry. Are there any questions? Is that agreed? Item 10, Schedule of Members' Allowance. Councillor Bill Whiteman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I move the recommendations on the order paper?
I haven't forgot this time, Councillor Murphy. Is that agreed? Any questions? Is that agreed? Item 11, minutes. Are the minutes of the meeting of the council held on the 25th of March 2015 agreed as a correct record? Item 12, any other items? I have no other items to urgent nature, and I declare that the annual general meeting closed. Members are asked to move the agenda and papers for the special meeting of committees. Item 1, appointment of chairpersons and vice chairpersons. Councillor Bill Whiteman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I move the recommendations as per the order paper?
Councillor Murphy. Are there any questions? Is that agreed? Colleagues, there is no further items of business. I thank you for your attendance. I now declare the meeting closed.
Be upstanding for the mayor.
As predicted, Andy Moorhead is now the new leader of Knowsley Council.